Miss Noel here. Just want to say that we're missing you all lots and really looking forward to seeing lots of you over the next few weeks at Manor. If you're not able to make it into school, then we're still going to provide you with lots of home learning that you can access via the Manor website. There'll be lots of learning opportunities for you there, including maths, English and some creative things as well. So this is just a little video just to show you what there is for you. So let's have a look. So I just want to show you Year 6, all the amazing learning that's available for you via the Manor website. As per usual, we'd like you to access the Oak National Academy website. This is a government website that's been supported by them that has daily maths, English and foundation lessons for you to see. All you need to do is click on Classroom. If you go to Schedule and find where Year 6 is, you will see there will be all next week daily lessons. Now obviously because this week is half term, there are some activity clubs that if you would like you can access. These are great, a real range of different things for you to see. If we have a look at this week, things like getting in shape, creating your own chicken kebabs, doing some origami, which I know you all love, and they're a lovely thing for you to access. Also, on the Manor website, you will see there is some creative things for you to do, including creating your own well-being jar. This is a lovely way for you to think about what things you'd like to make yourself feel happier, how you can improve your well-being. You could write some little notes about what you'd like to do in the future and decorate your jar. The maths this week is looking at shape. We'd like you to explore shape in different ways, thinking about the properties of shape, thinking about circles, how you'd find a radius and the diameter of a circle. Also, you can create your own nets. So if you've got some paper at home, that would be lovely. The history this week is going to be looking at the Maya civilization. This is your creative focus. We know you like to get your creative juices flowing, so we'd like you to do a historical picture study. And in the Manor website, you will find there are lots of pictures connected to the Maya civilization for you to have a look at and explore, some questions as well, and also for you to have a go at creating your own. Okay, now over to English. And the last thing I'd like to show you, Year 6, is this week's English. Now, we have chosen, myself and Miss Ripley have chosen one of our favourite stories called Wonder. We know a lot of you are enjoying this story or have already read it. Some of you might have seen the film as well. If you haven't seen the film, watch it once you've read the book. Everybody was very lucky in Year 6 to receive this as a Christmas present from Manor. So dig it out if you haven't read it already. If you can't find your copy, then on the Manor website I've included a PDF file of the whole text for you to have a look at if you would like to use that instead. So the reason why I wanted to show you this is because I'm going to read a little part of this text. We're going to be looking at this over the next few weeks. There are so many amazing things in here for you to really tap into, especially at this time at the moment when we're looking at being kind. So the chapter I'm choosing is called Choose Kind. There was a lot of shuffling around when the bell rang and everybody got up to leave. I checked my schedule and it said my next class was English, room 321. I didn't stop to see if anyone else from my homeroom was going my way. I just zoomed straight out of the class and down the hall and sat down as far from the front as possible. The teacher, a really tall man with a yellow beard, was writing on the chalkboard. Kids came in laughing and talking in little groups, but I didn't look up. Basically, the same thing that happened in homeroom happened again. No one sat next to me except for Jack, who was joking around with some kids who weren't in our homeroom. I could tell Jack was the kind of kid other kids like. He had a lot of friends. He made people laugh. When the second bell rang, everyone got quiet and the teacher turned around and faced us. He said his name was Mr. Brown, and then he started talking about what we would be doing this semester. At a certain point somewhere between A Wrinkle in Time and Shen of the Sea, he noticed me, but kept right on talking. I was mostly doodling in my notebook while he talked, but every once in a while I would sneak a look at the other students. Charlotte was in his class, so were Julian and Henry. Miles wasn't. Mr. Brown had written on the chalkboard in big block letters, Precept. Okay everyone, write this down at the very top of the very first page in your English notebook. As we did what he told us to do, he said, okay, so who can tell me what a precept is? Does anyone know? No one raised their hands. Mr. Brown smiled, nodded and turned around to write on the chalkboard again. Precepts equals rules about really important things. Like a motto, someone called out. Like a motto, said Mr. Brown, nodding as he continued writing on the board. Like a famous quote, like a line from a fortune cookie. Any saying or ground rule that can motivate you. Basically, a precept is anything that helps guide us when making decisions about really important things. He wrote that on the chalkboard, then turned around and faced us. So, what are some really important things, he asked us. A few kids raised their hands as he pointed to them. They gave their answers, which he wrote on the chalkboard in really sloppy handwriting. Rules, schoolwork, homework. What else, he said as he wrote, not even turning around. Just call things out. He wrote everything everyone called out. Family, parents, pets. One girl called out the environment. The environment. He wrote on the chalkboard and added, our world. Sharks, because they eat dead things in the ocean, said one of the boys. A kid named Reed, and Mr. Brown wrote down sharks. Bees, seatbelts, recycling, friends. Okay, said Mr. Brown, writing all those things down. He turned around when he'd finished writing to face us again. But no one's named the most important thing of all. We all looked at him, out of ideas. God, said one kid, and I could tell that even though Mr. Brown wrote God down, that wasn't the answer he was looking for. Without saying anything else, he wrote down, who we are. Who we are, he said, underlining each word as he said it. Who we are? Us, right? What kind of people are we? What kind of person are you? Isn't that the most important thing of all? Isn't that the kind of question we should be asking ourselves all the time? What kind of person am I? Did anyone happen to notice the plaque next to the door of this school? Anyone read what it says? Anyone? He looked around, but no one knew the answer. It says, know thyself, he said, smiling and nodding. And learning who you are is what you're here to do. I thought we were here to learn English, Jack cracked, which made everyone laugh. Oh yeah, and that too, Mr. Brown answered, which I thought was very cool of him. He turned around and wrote in big, huge block letters that spread all the way across the chalkboard, Mr. Brown's September precept. When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind. Okay, so everybody, he said, facing us again, I want you to start a brand new section in your notebooks and call it Mr. Brown's Precepts. He kept talking as we did what he was telling us to do. Put today's date at the top of the first page, and from now on, at the beginning of every month, I'm going to write a new Mr. Brown precept on the chalkboard, and you're going to write it down in your notebook. Then we're going to discuss that precept and what it means. At the end of the month, you're going to write an essay about it and what it means to you. So by the end of the year, you'll have your own list of precepts to take away with you. Over the summer, I ask all my students to come up with their very own personal precept, write it on a postcard and mail it to me from wherever you go on your summer vacation. People really do that, said one girl whose name I didn't know. Oh yeah, he answered, people really do that. I've had students send me new precepts years after they've graduated from this school, actually. It's pretty amazing. He paused and stroked his beard. But anyway, next summer seems a long way off, I know, he joked, which made us laugh. So everyone relax a bit while I take attendance, and then when we're finished with that, I'll start telling you about all the fun stuff we're going to be doing this year. In English. He pointed to Jack when he said this, which was so funny. So we all laughed at that. As I wrote down Mr. Brown's September precept, I suddenly realised that I was going to like school, no matter what. So that was just one chapter out of Wonder. Obviously, we want you to read a little bit more and we really want you to enjoy it. And good luck with all your home learning. If we're not seeing you at Manor, please keep safe and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.